Salutations, respected viewers. I'm George from Ireland. So here I am in front of Lambeth Palace, which is the home of the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is the High Priest of England in the Anglican denomination. Of course, if you're a Roman Catholic, the highest priest in England is the Archbishop of Westminster. So the Archbishop of Canterbury doesn't spend most of his time in Canterbury, he spends most of it here. So Canterbury is not very far away, only about 70 miles away in the county of Kent. And oddly, Canterbury is the religious capital of England. Why? Well, there had been a bit of Christianity here right at the end of the Roman time, but then that fell apart. And the Pope, he dispatched a new missionary, non-Angli. Non-Angli said Angli. Not angles, but angels. So said St. Augustine in the slave market in Rome when he sold some of these fair-haired Angles, or the early English people really, who were enslaved there. Anyway, he was on a mission from God and he evangelized here. England didn't exist as such at the time, but so it was divided into many different kingdoms. There was no concept of England really, or the English. The Angles were people who'd invaded from what's now Germany. So he came and proselytized amongst them. Remember, the ancient Britons who'd been here when the Romans were here have been largely driven out by the Angles and Saxons in the early 5th century AD. The Britons had fled north to Scotland, west to Wales, northwest of England to Cambria, are the same route, Cambria being another word for Wales, and some to Ireland, some to Brittany. That's why there's Brittany and Great Britain. Anyway, so the King of Kent, he accepted the Christian message and he allowed St. Augustine to construct a wooden church, which was later rebuilt in stone and expanded, and that's Canterbury Cathedral. Anyway, so this dates from the 13th century, but the palace behind, which you can't see, what you're looking at there is 1490s, when John Morton was Archbishop of Canterbury. This was constructed. It looks rather like some of the central bits of Eton because it's roughly the same period. Then you'll see these sort of X's or diamond shapes in dark stone on red. And you see the crenellations at the top. So that's that. Justin Welby is the current Archbishop of Canterbury, and he's the 105th person to hold that post. Obviously, there was sometimes some dispute as to who was the rightful Archbishop of Canterbury, or if there even was one. You go back to, say, Stigand's time in the 1560s. So the Archbishop of Canterbury has not always been English. The first one wasn't. And there were some sort of Italian ones in the Middle Ages, like Anselm, for instance, because, of course, this was a Roman Catholic country until the 1530s, and the Catholic Church is an international organization. So people could be moved from one country to another, and they were using Latin, so priests and bishops and monks could speak to each other. So we'll have a look inside. It's open. The garden's open on Fridays. I'm not sure the building is open. If it is, it's very rare. Certain tours, like one weekend a year or something, and then you'll get some sort of another idea of what it's like. Jeremy Thorpe, someone I find absolutely intriguing. He had his garden. He had a garden party here for his wedding. How about that? I can't go too far in. Security guard will come out and tell me to go in a minute. So that's about as much as I can show you. Gorgeous, hey? All right, I'll switch it off now.